Picture this. You've finally found a buyer for your car. You're getting ready to finalize the whole shebang. You open up your filing cabinet and your vehicle title? It's nowhere to be found. The panic immediately sets in, right? You're probably picturing endless hours stuck in a government office under those awful fluorescent lights, just drowning in paperwork and shelling out steep fees. But hey, take a deep breath. If you're dealing with a misplaced, stolen, or damaged North Dakota car title, there is actually a remarkably cheap and straightforward fix for this. No need to panic, and you definitely don't need to cancel that car sale.
Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to walk through a step-by-step journey to completely navigate the North Dakota Department of Transportation's duplicate title process. I know. The phrase Department of Transportation doesn't exactly sound like a thrilling adventure. But it turns out, conquering this specific bureaucratic hurdle, it's totally manageable, even for a complete beginner. By the end of our time together, you're going to be armed with the exact knowledge you need to handle this with total confidence. We're going to make this simple, actionable, and completely stress-free.
Here's our quick roadmap for today. We'll start with an introduction, cover the necessary documentation, walk through the step-by-step process, hit some expert tips and pitfalls, look at timelines and processing, and wrap up with additional resources and a conclusion.
All right, Section 1, Introduction. Let's start by understanding your title. So what exactly is this piece of paper we're so worried about? Well, a car title is basically the ultimate legal document issued by the state. It unequivocally proves your ownership of a vehicle. And without it, honestly, your hands are tied. You are strictly required to have this document to legally sell your car to a private buyer or a dealership, or even just to register it. It's literally the key to your vehicle's legal identity. So replacing it is absolutely critical, but as you'll soon see, it's highly achievable.
Moving right along to Section 2, Necessary Documentation.
Okay, let's gather our tools before you head off to an office or drop anything in the mail. First and foremost, you've got to be the registered owner of the vehicle, the owner's personal representative, a recorded lien holder, or have power of attorney. Basically, you can't request a title for a car you don't legally own, right? Makes sense. You'll also need a valid ID to prove you are exactly who you say you are. But here is the primary key to unlocking your duplicate title. Form SFN 2872. Officially, that's the application for Certificate of Title and Registration of a Vehicle. This form right here, it's your golden ticket. Now, when you look at the top right of Form SFN 2872, you're going to notice a required checklist. The state is super specific right out of the gate here. You need to explicitly check the box that says Duplicate Title. But wait, don't stop there. Right above that box, there's a section where you must state the actual reason you need the duplicate. You literally have to circle whether your original title was lost, stolen, or mutilated. It seems like a super small detail, I know, but skipping it, that can bounce your application right back to you. So don't forget to circle it. Moving down the form a bit, you'll hit the Vehicle Information block. Here you need to accurately transcribe the vehicle's year, make, model, body style, and most importantly the VIN, the Vehicle Identification Number. You're also going to need to provide the current odometer reading. Guys, I literally cannot stress this enough. Take your time right here. A single typo in your VIN will absolutely cause processing delays. To be perfectly safe, just double-check your numbers against your current registration card. Okay, there is one absolutely crucial point here that might seem completely obvious, but it's actually a massive leading cause for applications getting rejected. Ready? At the very bottom of the form, you must provide your legal original signature. The state of North Dakota requires actual pen-to-paper signatures on these documents. An unsigned form is an invalid form, plain and simple. So please, make sure you physically sign it before you even consider your application complete.
All right, that brings us to Section 3, the step-by-step process.
Now, this is probably my absolute favorite piece of news I found while putting this explainer together. The fee for a duplicate title in North Dakota, it is just $5. Yep, a flat $5 fee. When you compare that to the massive government charges you see in some other states, which can easily hit the high double digits, this is just a surprisingly awesome welcome cost. Just one important thing to remember, and the form explicitly warns you about this, do not send cash. If you're mailing it in, you'll want to use a check or a money order.
So, how do you actually hand this in? You've got two main routes, which basically let you choose between speed and convenience. If you want it done as fast as possible, you can go in person to local NDDOT branches, like the ones in Fargo, Dickinson, or Devil's Lake. They do accept walk-ins, though appointments are always prioritized. On the flip side, if you'd rather enjoy the convenience of not leaving your house, you can just mail your completed Form SFN 2872 and that $5 fee directly to the Motor Vehicle Division Central Office over on East Boulevard Avenue in Bismarck.
But hold on, here is a massive edge case that completely surprised me. If you live out in the western part of the state, listen up. The Williston branch does not process duplicate titles. No way around it. If you drive down there with your paperwork all ready to go, they will turn you away. So, to save yourself a totally wasted trip, either head to a different branch, like Dickinson or Minot, or just use that mail-in option to Bismarck.
Moving right along to Section 4, Expert Tips and Pitfalls.
Now here is a massive pitfall you absolutely need to avoid. The North Dakota Department of Transportation can only duplicate North Dakota titles. Makes sense, right? But if you recently moved to the state, lost your title in the move, and the vehicle was last titled out of state, like say over in Minnesota or Montana, you cannot use this process. You're going to have to apply directly with that specific state's DMV for a duplicate title first. North Dakota simply cannot recreate a document it never issued in the first place.
So what if you bought a car without a title at all, and you have no standard proof of ownership? Well, unlike some states where you can just buy a quick surety bond and bypass all the red tape, North Dakota doesn't use a lost title bond system. Instead, they mandate this rigorous untitled vehicle process. And it is a real process. You have to conduct a multi-state records check, obtain a notarized bill of sale, fill out a statement of ownership, and finally complete a physical VIN inspection from a registered automotive repair business. It's a pretty heavy lift, honestly, which really just reinforces how crucial it is to keep your official title safe to begin with.
Okay, let's talk about Section 5, timelines and processing.
Once you finally submit everything, how long are you actually going to have to wait? Well, these numbers should really help ease any post-submission anxiety you might have. If you take the time to submit your application in person at a branch office, the expected turnaround time is just about 1 week, super fast. If you choose the mail-in route to Bismarck, you're looking at a highly efficient 2-week turnaround window. I mean, compared to the months-long delays we sometimes see in other government sectors, the NDDOT moves remarkably fast.
Which brings us to our final stop, Section 6, Additional Resources and Conclusion. Let's do a quick recap of your main takeaways. First, grab your ID and confirm you're the legal registered owner. Second, download, carefully fill out, and, crucially, sign that Form SFN 2872. Third, get your $5 fee ready, and remember, no cash if you're mailing it. Finally, pick your submission method. In-person is faster, but mailing to Bismarck is perfectly fine and only takes about 2 weeks. See, you can absolutely conquer this process. If you do find yourself stuck, or if you're dealing with some highly specific edge case we didn't cover today, here's your direct lifeline. You can contact the Central Motor Vehicle Division in Bismarck directly at 701-328-2725. I actually highly encourage you to just pause this explainer right now, maybe grab a quick screenshot of this contact info, just so you have it handy on your phone.
Now, as with anything involving state laws and bureaucracy, we've got to do a quick professional disclaimer. The information we've walked through in this explainer is based on currently available NDDOT procedures as of our latest research. But, as we all know, legislative updates happen and rules can shift over time. So, always make sure to verify the specific forms, fees, and current requirements directly with official North Dakota government sources before you submit your paperwork. So we've broken down the forms, we've looked at the incredibly low fees, the speedy timelines, and even the pitfalls to dodge. The only thing left now is for you to actually take action. So I want to leave you with this final thought. Which application method will you choose to get that title back in your hands? Whether you decide to head over to a local branch this week or just drop an envelope in the mail today, you've now got the exact blueprint you need. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and good luck getting that title sorted.